Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche podcast. What a game. I hated significant portions of this game. And then I loved significant portions of this game. Wild times. Unreal. On national television, no less. The comeback, unbelievable. Obviously, the big talking point of the night, Nathan MacKinnon setting the but Avalanche record for most points in a season. Wow. 60-second rundown to kick things off. Maybe the worst period, the first period that is, that the Avs have played in months.
Oh, it's so bad.
Just awful hockey from Colorado in the first period of this game. We're probably lucky to only be down 2-0 after the first. Second period, the Avs started to play better. About 5 minutes in, they really played a good stretch of hockey. They just could not get the puck to go in. I think they hit 4 or 5 posts. It was outrageous. And when that happens, it's bound to go the other way. Sidney Crosby has a 4-point night. Before you know it, it's 4-0 in the second period. The Avs get one back from a nice shot from Sean Walker, and then get a last-minute goal, an Eric no-no. Brandon Duhaime shot it, Yakov Trenin. It went off of him and in the net to make it 4-2. Early in the third period, the Avs make it 4-3 off a Jonathan Drouin one-timer, and then Nathan MacKinnon willing this team back into this game, 4-4. And then in overtime, Jonathan Drouin once again with the finisher. It was a whole lot more complicated than that, but the Avs win it 5-4 in OT. Walk it all the way back. You look at the start of this game, as I mentioned, Avs themselves are going to be extremely unhappy with this period. It's no secret. They know they played horribly. No one's trying to hide behind the bushes on that one.
Why are people in the bushes?
I don't know.
Why would they be hiding in the bushes? What? What world is this?
After that game, I don't know where I am, dude.
Okay. That's fair.
Is it more concerning that start looked like that, or is it more important that the Avs showed so much resilience in this game and the ability to... We've seen them come back a ton, but this one was a 4-goal comeback.
Well, let me ask you... To answer that question, I'll ask you, which team would you rather be right now?
Colorado. Yeah.
How many times you don't win games in the first period, you can lose them? The Avs tried.
They sure did.
But you win games at the end.
Yep.
And the Avs have been a very good third period team this season. I think they've become a little overly reliant at times on their ability to, now we're down by a goal, we can start to play.
Yeah.
In this case, in this game, they just didn't play a good period.
Yep.
And they started to find their legs, and they started to play in the second period, and the situation that they were in was the situation they're in. You're gonna be in every situation imaginable in a postseason run. You need a team that is comfortable in tight games and comfortable in tight situations. You need a team that can display a tremendous amount of resiliency. When we talk about Vancouver and Winnipeg as postseason entities this year, a lot of the question marks surround, how are they going to hold up? You know, those are two teams that have lived a charmed life this season to get to where they are. Good teams.
Yep.
But have had the lady luck has been with them.
Broken their way, for
exactly,
sure.
has been with them for a lot of this year. What happens when they get into some situations like this? And today was a very interesting...
Watching Winnipeg lose 3-0.
Winnipeg lose 3-0 in Washington, and the Avs go down 4-0 to Pittsburgh and win the game. Yep. And win their 9th straight. The Avs are peaking.
Yep.
right now, just as the standings have tightened up, just as Winnipeg has opened up that door, Winnipeg is going away a little bit. Vancouver has righted their own ship, but Winnipeg is kind of fading a little right now. And it makes you, you talk about championship DNA, you talk about resiliency and perseverance and the ability to find your way through the game that you're in. Not be so dedicated to one style in particular. This is the game that we play. We have to get up by 2, we lock it down, we win 3-1, and that is how we win.
That's our one option, yeah.
The Avalanche have shown an ability to win in all situations this year.
Yep.
They get down early too often.
I agree.
But their ability, they are the number 1 team in the NHL in comebacks. That is no way to live on a regular basis, and certainly in the postseason. But that they have the ability to do it. And now it's not just an ability. At this point, it's downright confidence.
Yep.
To go and do it. I mean, you would rather be the team with the resiliency than the team
absolutely
that is going to score first in every game and then, okay, well, we'll figure it out.
But I think if you look at it and you even narrow it down even more, take this on, it's a 10-game run, call it a, 9 games in a row. They're 10-1, right, in their last 11. Were they perfect in that stretch? No. You know what I mean? It was. And tonight was a perfect example. Like, that first half of the game was atrocious. It was. I mean, the Rudo was on panic watch. He was leaving. I had to tie him down to the chair. You were pissy. You wanted to break a hole in the wall. I'm just kidding. Like, very normal.
I was pretty upset.
Bednar was pretty upset for sure. Guys are upset. Things like that are going to happen. The problem, and I hope the rest of the league saw that and noticed that, is if you're going up against the Avs like multiple goals, as we saw tonight, 4 goals. Like,
it means nothing.
It means nothing. I mean, you maybe want to do that maybe with 5 minutes to go in the game, because if it's anywhere like before the third period, like, you're in trouble, because they needed that little spark, and they got it from those guys, right? Duhaime and Trenin, when that goal, that was such a hard-working goal, and then they get it. We talk about the no-no, 25 seconds to go, whatever it was. I am telling you, I've been in both locker rooms. Pittsburgh, yeah, let's shake it off, guys. We got them 4-2. It's not a big deal, but you know it's a big deal, but you don't want to say it. You know what I mean? And then Avs are like, okay, we got that one. Thanks, fellas. Let us do, Mac to the rest of the lineup. Hey, thanks for the help. We'll take care of it now. Don't worry. Watch this. It's going to happen. And it does. And that's what a championship team does.
When you also consider the established identities of those two teams through 70 games this year.
There you go.
Pittsburgh's a team that has not been great protecting leads.
Yep.
Has not been great in games in those situations. It does not have a defense or a goaltender that they trust to really sink back on and say, all right, this is what we're going to do. Their 2 best defensemen are purely offensive. They have to succeed by attacking and going one direction. Letang and Carlson are just not good enough anymore. And when you're playing against a team that on the other side of that, their identity is, oh, you got a 4-goal lead? Bet. We've got Nathan MacKinnon. Sidney Crosby put up 4 points before any of us realized what was going on. That guy's incredible.
He was awesome.
Great.
Who else you got?
What happens if that guy stops doing things for you? And that's exactly what we saw.
Yep.
Because the Avs, and it's contributions from all over the lineup. Colorado's third line was the only line that had any kind of juice.
First 25 minutes of this game.
And they earned that first goal. It's Sean Walker that gets it, but it's that line that does it. And then you get a 4th line goal going into that. And then it's like, all right, we're down 4-2. We have all the momentum. We're in our home barn. And our top dogs haven't done a damn thing.
Yep.
Did you really think that was going to continue? It could have. It is the world that you sometimes live in. Sometimes that just happens. It did not continue.
Yep.
Colorado's top guys came out, and specifically Nathan MacKinnon came out on fire, took over the game, got it tied, and then won it.
Yep.
And it's just we talk a lot about culture and DNA and whatever. When you're on a 9-game winning streak, everything is great, right?
Of course, it's easy.
You two opposite games these last 2 games. A completely, thoroughly dominant 6-1.
Yeah. Drubbing.
Yeah, great word. Drubbing of Columbus. And then this comeback win, erasing a 4-0 deficit to come back and win. I mean,
they do it in all sorts of ways.
And you get contributions from everybody. This is not Nathan MacKinnon solely took over, and this is why he's the MVP. You know, this is not Nikita Kucherov in Tampa Bay that he's the hero.
Yep.
He's a hero here, but he has so much help.
We'll talk about all of those
which
guys
is certainly
enough,
a feather in the Kucherov for Hart cap. But it's just reality.
Yeah.
The Avalanche are better. The Avalanche are a better built team. They're deeper. They're more talented. MacKinnon has more help. In this game, you saw that.
Yep.
But when the Avs still needed it from him,
It was him. Yeah.
he's there.
Yep.
He's such a special player.
Yep. I do want to talk about those guys a little bit. I do want to go through the first and touch on some of the negatives initially, though. Again, first period, I don't even think there's a need to single anyone out in the first period of this game. Every single player on the Avs did not play good enough in the first period.
Could you find one that you felt good about?
No.
Like maybe the one guy that dressed for the Avs that you felt great about in the first period was Justus Annunen.
Yeah, back up.
Because he didn't have to get on the ice.
Yeah.
Every single other guy that touched the ice, though,
A suspect.
get him out of here.
It was bad.
And maybe the worst period of the season, just in terms of how they played.
Yeah.
It should have been 4-0 after the first.
Yep. It was that bad.
Yeah.
The rest of the game, and the one real knock that I have on tonight it was just a tough game for Mikko Rantanen. None of the things he was doing was working, and it's tough. Again, when Mikko's playing well, when the puck is going in for him, you live with the negatives because he's going to give you 2 points a night or whatever it is. He didn't give you 2 points tonight, man. He was struggling. Is what it is.
The neutral zone pocket pick by Crosby. Sidney Crosby, man. What a monster.
He's sick.
But also, you really do want Mikko to be a little bit better in that situation. It's very disappointing. And then everything that happens after that, Josh Manson gets torched.
Lit on fire, and Georgiev can't seal his post.
Well, and Georgiev gives up I don't even know if it was a puck-sized hole under his foot.
And it still went through it.
I watched the replay 6,000 times, and I'm like, this is actually an incredible,
1 in a million.
Hockey is brutal.
So it is what it is.
He might have done, maybe a quarter of an inch? He misplays that?
Yeah.
And that ends up a goal? I'm just marveling at, wow.
And maybe
crazy.
I think maybe you're onto something with the neutral zone play.
Now.
Tonight, today, I guess, that was really the Avs' big problem. Mikko really bad with it, but you saw a pretty brutal turnover from Makar as well in the neutral zone that led to...
What the teams are better down the postseason, right? You know, there's only 6 teams. Usually teams that are 16 to 32 are teams that are weak at best in between the two blue lines. Their puck management's not good. I mean, a lot of their problem starts from there. Turnovers, not managing the puck well. I'm talking about the bottom 16 teams. Now you get in the postseason, there's less of those teams. Everybody plays the right way. Sidney Crosby used to play in the postseason, right? You know, until last year, he had an 17 year
it was
run.
his entire career, whatever
3
it was.
Stanley Cups. You saw it tonight. A guy like that, if you're going to cheat in between the two blue lines, he'll make you pay.
Yep.
And he sure did. And he looked awesome. We'll give him flowers tonight to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Purely Sidney Crosby. He is such a good player. He is such an awesome player. And it's too bad that he's wasting another great year and no playoffs. You know, it's kind of sad to see because you saw it tonight firsthand. But to get back to the point,
one more could you ask for?
One more, but to get back to our point here, there was sloppiness in between the two blue lines. We talked about it before the game, and you can't have that. So that would be one of the negatives. And then you can't fall behind 4-0 in playoffs. And usually, you know what I mean. And they know that. That's what you're going to hear Bednar say after the game. But on top of it, it was awesome because they didn't give up. And again, put the league on notice. Hey, we're never out of this.
Yep.
And we got everything we need to do. And when things go well for us, we're pretty dangerous.
Yeah, and Also, they're this like, oh, you can't get away with this in the playoffs or whatever. Like,
Well, sometimes you can.
the Avs are on a 9-game winning streak because they have done very little of this.
That's right.
Very
They
true.
have. This is the worst period, and the first period of this game,
Bar none.
worst period that they've played since they were in net.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. At minimum, a month and a half.
Since they were last in Nashville before the trade deadline.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't play very well in St. Louis. It was nothing like this, though.
Right.
Like, yeah, you get outplayed. They got dominated, and it was a combination of predominantly Sidney Crosby being absolutely on fire. That was the guy that was beating them. The other
Almost single-handedly, to be
the other
honest.
Pens
Yeah.
were fine, but
That chip shot was
Crosby,
sick.
yeah, Crosby was chewing them up. But it was also everything about the Avs game was bad.
Yep.
It wasn't just like puck management in one area,
No, it was bad.
decision making over here, whatever. You know, it wasn't like, oh, they put themselves in a bunch of bad situations on special teams. No. Every area of it was awful.
Yep.
Like awful.
They were struggling to do basic hockey things in the first period. They really were. I do want to put that behind us, though. As chat, you've already got us to over 100 likes, so let's do our Dr. Dubs winner shots here. Get the vitamin W flowing. Get me energized for the rest of the day ahead.
It's an interesting flavor palette with a cough drop.
That does seem like that would be a bit rough.
Not as bad as I was expecting.
Okay. Well, the more you know, I guess. On that note,
Put cough drops in your shots, kids.
safe to say the heart rate was pretty elevated during the third period and overtime of this game. I think that's a fair one. If you need to chill out a little bit after that, make sure you're grabbing yourself a Coors Light. Coors Light, the beer literally made to chill. Go get yourself one right now if you want to vibe during the post-game show. Of course, anytime you're looking to chill, anytime you need to relax a little bit, Coors Light is there for you. And in fact, you don't even have to go get it, like I said. You can get it delivered right to your door. If you go to CoorsLight.com/DNVR, Instacart will ship you some Coors Light. Barely even have to get up off the couch to get your Coors Light. So jump in with it, whether it's an Avs game or you're enjoying March Madness or anytime you're just looking to chill. Make sure you grab yourself a Coors Light when you want to hit that reset button. Get your Coors Light delivered straight to you with Instacart. Again, CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. And once you've got your Coors, pick up your phone in your other hand. Maybe throw a few bets down. One of the best bets in hockey this year. Wait till the Avs fall behind. Get plus money. Bet on the Avs.
Honestly, it's bet on the Avs before the game, and then especially
Double
when they
down,
fall
yeah.
behind, toss the other one on there, and then at the end of the game, you're cashing 2 checks.
That's what Tiff did.
Yeah, Tiff hit the bet tonight. None of my bets hit tonight, so that was fun. Can't win them all. I should have gone with the ridiculous, crazy matinee game strategies, but I didn't. Either way, go make your bets at Bet365 and sign up with code DNVR365. When you do sign up with the DNVR365 code and bet $5 on an NHL game, you get $150 in bonus bets to bet on whatever you want. You can have fun with Avs trailing plus money. You can have fun with Nuggets betting. You can have fun betting on Winnipeg to get shut out if you want. Go off. Do whatever you want to do. Download the Bet365 app today. When you do gamble with them, please gamble responsibly. You must be 21 or older and physically located in Colorado. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER today. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. Before we get into 3 stars, I did just want to give a little bit more love to Ross, the third line and the fourth line, really, as a whole, as units tonight for Colorado. Particularly, not the goals, but the consistent work all night that you got out of those
Energy,
guys.
man.
Yeah.
Energy.
There's a shift in the third period. I think Trenin and those guys. Nothing happened. I'm talking about on the scoreboard, but you know what? He kept the momentum going on. Next thing you know, Mac makes that pass to Drouin right after, and then the rest is history. But in the second period, you saw Woody drive wide. You saw Woody go in with Colton. You saw them, some chaos that we haven't seen a little bit sometimes at times, especially since that ALLCITY's been gone. But you're right. Tonight, the bottom six was awesome. The top six was awesome.
Eventually.
We'll take the first period out of the way and a half. But it was awesome to watch. It was fun, and that's what a team is. And that's why they are a dangerous team, because they got a little bit of everything, and they can do it the way you want to do it. Obviously they want to dictate the game, but sometimes the other team too is the National Hockey League. There's some good teams out there, and they do all of a sudden take advantage of holes in your game. But the Avs don't get rattled. They got every tool in their tool bag to do anything that's thrown at them and prepare and repair things that have gone wrong in a game. And 60 minutes sometimes is just too long for the opponents of the Avalanche to try to hold on like they did tonight, Pittsburgh Penguins.
Well, and I especially want to give there's three guys that I thought really stood out early before the Avs really got to their game. I thought Trenin, Duhaime, and Miles Wood. All three of those guys were getting in there, and they were at least hitting people.
It was crash, bang, boom hockey.
And it wasn't,
for sure,
it's not about, you hit somebody, so you changed the game. But it's that you're forcing them to make plays. They're under duress. They have to make plays under duress. And that consistent physicality, it wears you down. It tires you out, and it creates mistakes all over the ice. And you see those three guys, I thought, before the Avs as a team locked in, those three guys were at least doing that. And that is usually how a team gets itself into a game that it's getting beat down in. That's where it starts. It starts with the simple things, the little things. And this Avs team, you compare it 1-to-1 to last year's team. This year's Avs team is layered in such a way that it has the skill guys at the top, that if those guys aren't rocking and rolling, and there are some of the, with Nichushkin and MacKinnon, they have some of those guys that can get in there and do that. And then you have two superstar talents, and then whatever we would consider Jonathan Drouin at the moment,
we'll get to that,
and Casey Middlestat. But you sometimes just need your bottom guys to lift you up just by crashing and banging. It's not like a complicated formula of, all right, I'm gonna tap you guys on the shoulder and just go hit some stuff. Eric, I know you did it in your career.
I'm going to do more. I'm going to add more to that because I agree with those three names. And I tell youth hockey kids all the time, like, to the point of those three guys you just mentioned, Wood, Trenin, Duhaime, when you're chasing when you're forechecking, don't forecheck with your eyes, forecheck with your legs. And a lot of times youth hockey kids, they think they're forechecking, but they're really looking at the guy, and their thought process is, he's too far ahead of me. Why would I chase the guy down? I'm not going to get there. The point is, and this is what the Avs did tonight, you're not going to get there. We get it. But you're going to force them to make a play in a hurry. And no players, and even in the NHL, when your eyes are back to the play, like, you're going to be forced to make mistakes. And that's what's fun about the speed and the additions of the Avs at the trade deadline to go with the Val and guys that are also good at forechecking. And you saw that tonight. You're hurrying, and in a 7-game series, it pays dividends in game 4, 5, 6, 7. To your point,
I think we talk about the phrase "make teams go away" a lot.
Yeah,
and that is exactly what we mean when we're talking about that. Compare this to the last game for the Avs in Columbus. The Avs give it up 3-1 in that game, and all of a sudden, the Avs are retrieving pucks. They're getting their head up. Nobody's anywhere near them. They do whatever they want. It becomes 6-1 pretty quick. That is what this third line and fourth line from Colorado is doing. They're on Pittsburgh, and like you said, you're making them make plays. Even when you're down 2-0, even when you're down 3-0, 4-0, they are making you beat them still. And Pittsburgh didn't.
The difference, I also think, from the Avs today versus earlier this year, Miles Wood is now a depth guy.
Yep.
He's not a guy moonlighting in a
second line.
Yeah, on your second line and playing too many minutes. He's being put in and utilized in a role where they just say, Miles, just skate really fast and go hit shit, dude.
Did Miles get a point tonight?
And he did. And
he did. Oh.
Yeah.
that's he has a handful of assists over the last week or two.
Yeah.
And I've really struggled with his defensive game. I think it's been really bad, and I've struggled with a lot
There are
of
fair concerns there.
yeah, like his overall game here. But the simplified role, I think, will ultimately help him. And I really, I don't love that Jared Bednar seems married to Wood and Colton together, but it's whatever. But Wood in particular, you see the more limited role, he can flex a little bit and he can get more comfortable with that. After a season, after 40, 50 games of doing stuff he shouldn't be doing, he's now finally, all right, this is what he's going to be for them in a postseason series. And I really liked just the contributions. I'm singling out Wood here, but it's really like Zach Parise,
right.
Ross Colton,
The whole group,
everyone.
to be honest.
that entire bottom six, I thought really was quite good. And I just, Brandon Duhaime is just like, I'm so like, you need to keep him. You need to keep him.
He's a little frustrating to me just because he's that guy where you wish he was 0.1% more talented than he is.
Yeah.
But
And I'm completely fine with that.
as a fourth line guy, amazing.
I'm completely fine with that
Awesome
because for my money, Brandon Duhaime he's exactly what the Avs wish they still were getting out of Andrew Cogliano.
Yep. That's bang on.
So
Way younger legs, right?
One more honorable mention shout out, Sean Walker. Awesome once again tonight for Colorado's
Hit the post,
decor.
scored.
Multiple great offensive
he's
plays.
so good, man.
He also had, again, an Avs defenseman in the neutral zone. That guy just messes teams up in the neutral zone.
well, and I think the best defenseman in the league at reading plays coming at them and jumping
Stepping into it, yeah.
it's Cale Makar. He's a holy terror in that one area of the game. But seeing the way that Sean Walker anticipates in that area, it's very Avsian. I wrote about this after the last game. That transition defense where the Avs disrupt plays and then kickstart them going the other direction.
Yep.
Sean Walker has been very good at that, and that is like Colorado bread and butter.
Yep.
You don't play with speed because it's not playing with speed is not always about breaking out of your defensive zone and flying up 200 feet with it. That's not, you don't do that all game over and over and over. Playing with speed a lot of times starts with playing fast in the neutral zone and getting the puck going and creating transition defense for them, not when they're all set up in the system that they want to be set up in, and then you try and break it down from there. They're already broken down because they're not set up to begin with. And Sean Walker is excellent at getting pucks going and creating that transition chaos, which I talked in the pregame. That is an area where the Penguins are bad. And we saw it over and over tonight. Once the Avs got to their speed, there was nothing that they could do.
Yep.
Because they are not a good enough team. They are not good enough in their details. They are not smart enough. They're not talented enough to consistently handle what the Avalanche throw at them in transition in particular. And Sean Walker is a big part of that. And I'm saying this, his goal is an in-zone goal.
Yeah, but there were many other plays in the neutral zone tonight.
It's about when you get the puck in that part of the ice, that's how you get in-zone goals.
Yep.
You play on that side of the ice, and you stop playing in your own end. And that's where the entire first period was played, in their own end.
And to add to Walker, and before you get back to the 3 stars, here's what I noticed tonight on top of what you're saying, because he's so perfectly fit to be an Av. Like, it's kind of scary. You know what I mean? That's his mistake. He signed in L.A. and not the Avalanche back then. Maybe the Avs were in on it when he was at Bowling Green and decided to go to L.A. Bad choice. Bad choice, Walker. Anyway, but what I'm trying to say about him is I happened to be watching him tonight. I had the ISO cam on him, my own ISO cam, in his own end. And I'm sure the Avs play a different system than the Philadelphia Flyers do. And it takes a little bit of time, as defensemen. You got to remember you're on your heels. You're not on your toes. You're defending. So when the puck's in your own end, tonight I saw that 3-4 times. I noticed that there was no thinking. He was just flowing, going, being at the right spot. Boom, bang, bang, puck out of the zone. But I'm talking about the reads defensively. I thought tonight it was coming natural to him. There's no more thinking like he did the first couple games. It's hard. You're playing a different system, and day in and day out, you're doing something that this guy goes there and I go there. Now you go to a different team, and you don't even know the guys' names, and you're just throwing in there, and you go in. It's freaking tough, man.
Yeah,
and people
no,
don't realize
I know.
that. It's like, oh, what's his name again? And so, oh, Lecky. I don't even know what his name is, but on the ice, you're like, hey, you move. You know what I mean? Like, So tonight, I thought his brain is getting there. His defensive reads are awesome. To go along with what you were saying about jumping in offensively, it makes it a perfect player for the Avs.
That adjustment for Walker, I'm sorry, just
No,
one.
go ahead.
No, yeah.
That adjustment from Walker, I think, is easier because I think Colorado runs a uniquely aggressive defensive system.
They do.
Their defense can
And-
go out high a lot.
That adjustment is easier for Walker, who is that style of
Yeah,
player.
yeah, you're right.
But has been unleashed in Philadelphia. So they got to see what it looked like. They know what it looks like when he's not that way in LA.
Todd's a little
He
different.
was fine.
He was different. He's not
He
there
was
anymore.
fine in LA.
Yeah.
He gets under Torts in Philadelphia, and they gave him the green light. And so I think that it was an easier adjustment because remember the adjustment 2 years ago with Josh Manson took a while because he was not asked to play that way his whole career.
It does.
Don't do that.
He knew some of the pieces already. Yeah.
Well, and like Josh Manson had like he was like be the adult next to a Cam Fowler
Yeah.
type his entire career.
Yeah.
And in Colorado they were like, "What? No.
There are no adults
Go
here.
do
Yeah.
this."
We're all adults here. Please
Like-
go.
like the inmates are running this asylum. What are you talking about? Get crazy, buddy. And once it clicked for Josh Manson, we saw it click.
Yeah.
And with Sean Walker, it took a week.
Yep.
And right now,
Nice.
just as a bigger conversation,
Fun to watch.
if you're Edmonton, are you little like,
You should be real disappointed in your deadline.
we
Yeah.
decided not to go do that?
Yeah.
The same way that they decided to get outbid by the Avs for Darcy Kemper back in the day, and it's like,
This again, yeah.
Anytime that we get into a bidding war for a player with the Avalanche,
We just got to outbid them.
we need to start winning these things because these are not. It doesn't look great right now.
If the Avs are in on a guy, they're probably right. So
And like, it's twofold because the Avs get that guy and they keep him out of Edmonton.
Yep. We do have to get to our 3 stars.
Sorry, yeah.
Our 3rd star of the game, AJ's eater for the night. Not Sean Walker, but Devon Taves on the defensive side of the puck. Obviously, is a big part of 2 crucial goals
Huge.
down the stretch for Colorado. This is maybe not necessarily specific to Devon, but it's unbelievable. Not just how well the Avs defense activates, but how much it tears apart other teams' systems.
Yeah.
Teams just don't know what to do against the Avalanche defense when every other shift there's a guy just full sending it from the back end.
I'll jump in before you
yeah,
because
have at
that's
it.
your guy.
Have
I'll
at
let
it.
you because he's been here, 5 years now, 4 years, whatever it is.
4.
And you were so excited 4 years ago. I'm just saying.
Infamously.
So, but it's true. But those were exactly, go back, watch the pregame. Those were exactly the 2 plays you said were going to happen. And I'm giving you credit because it was so fun to watch because we were watching and we're like, yeah, and then you was sitting over there and it's like AJ was going up and down the stairs with his new knee and doing push-up. He was going nuts. No, I'm just kidding. But it's exactly what the Avs are about, and that's why they needed to sign Devon Taves at the start of the year.
Yeah.
And tonight you saw it. Again, you see it every night, but it was so textbook Devon Taves on those 2 goals of the point you're trying to make before the game, and probably why he's on our 3rd star tonight. But it was awesome to watch.
Well, and especially the 3rd goal. He leads the rush with Nathan MacKinnon behind him.
Yep. Dude's at the front.
Like, that's what I was talking about in pregame of their transition defense. Their transition defense sucks.
Yep.
You need to pull it apart. And Devon Taves is time and place. And this is what has made them the Avalanche so unbelievably frustrating to play against the last couple of years. Because Devon Toews is doing that on one side, and then, who has the primary assist on the game-winning goal? Oh, it's Cale Makar. And these guys are out here together, and it's just... It's so, the talent level is so high, and the fit for how they play the game is so high that it just creates unique challenges for other teams, where Colorado's number one... We say this all the time. Colorado's number one advantage walking into every single game is their talent. It is their talent, and their second best advantage is their fit.
Yep.
The way that their talent fits into how they play the game. It's for my money, no offense to Carolina, who I think is the second best at this, but it's an example of Colorado's front office and coaching staff being in perfect harmony of acquiring of players that fit what they need but can still play the game the Avs want to play.
Yep.
And I think over the last couple of years, we've seen some awkward fits.
At times.
For various reasons, justifiable reasons. And then when they haven't worked, they've moved on.
Yep.
And to see, Devon Toews, obviously, this has been working for a while now. But this is just a really, really, really good game out of Toews. Yep. And to be honest, most of that defense, I think, that level got better. You could see it 5 minutes into the second period. Yep. You could see
they locked in.
Okay,
yeah.
They tightened the screws on this a lot. They allowed 13 shots on goal the rest of the game after that. It was
not a ton. Yeah.
Scoring chances.
Yeah,
Maybe.
It's more than that, but it's
Second half.
Yeah, it's
You think?
definitely.
I checked. It was a ton in the first period, and then it gets the Avs locked it in.
I'll tell you in a second, but yeah.
Get to the 3 stars. No, we did. Taves third.
Third period, Avs gave up 2 scoring chances.
Well, here you go. That's what I was saying.
They gave up 6 in the second.
Still, 6 scoring chances
Yeah.
at 5v5 against a team is just nothing.
15 in the first. So you can see the difference there.
And what were the high danger chances since they're right in your face?
0 in the third, 1 in the second.
That's what I was saying. When I say scoring chance, old school, it's high danger chance. That's what I mean by that.
I got you. Star number 2, my eater for the game. Pretty easy pick, Nathan MacKinnon. Not just continues the scoring streak, not just comes up huge for getting the Avs back into this game, but sets the all-time Avalanche single-season points record tonight. 121 points. I don't even know, I don't have anything to say about him. Let's hear what he has to say about, I don't think he talks about himself that much, but we did talk to MacKinnon after the game. Megan did talk to him. So let's hear what Mac had to say about tonight.
We went a little shocked, and we were pretty bad ourselves, so just a tough combination. I thought Sid showed why he's still the best. He dominated us tonight, especially our line. So we had a better third for sure, but the full team effort, our depth, the guys we traded for were unreal tonight. Obviously Drew, I thought was our best player. Full team effort to make a comeback.
Nate, it's only the third 4-goal deficit the franchise has ever had. What does it say about the resiliency of this team and what it took to get this done?
Yeah, we've been great from behind all season. We get aggressive, especially at home. I think we feed off the crowd. It's just, if we don't deviate from our game plan, I think it's tough to contain us when we're down. It's just human nature to try to sit back and be safe and try to hold the lead that way, and we've been there too. We've given up lots of leads, so we know what it's like, and like I said, a full team effort to come back.
You guys, all your top 6 wingers are healthy now, and Jared has the ability to kind of flip-flop. Like you said, it was a rough start for the game. How much does that help you to have that option to play with any one of these 4 guys?
Yeah, it's huge. It's always good. I like switching up lines when things are stale. It gives you a little more life, I feel like. And when Drew came with us in the second half of the game, he was unreal. Helped us so much, and he looks great. Obviously, Nico was great too in the second half. Our line was really bad in the first 30, and it's good that we stuck with it and got better as the game went on.
I've come to terms with the idea that this is going to be the best regular season I ever watch a player ever play.
It's funny. I felt that way about Sakic in 2001.
Yeah.
That like winning obsessed
Yep.
Mission 16W team.
Yep.
Because Sakic was so locked in from day one. What did we talk about in training camp? From day one, we talked about Nathan MacKinnon being
And his singular
locked
focus.
in.
Yep.
He came to camp on a completely different level, and it's continued.
But I love that you brought this up because I think you saw a little bit of this tonight. You go through 2 periods of this hockey game with MacKinnon, and he was not putting that anger in the right places. You see him yelling at the refs. He's banging his stick on the boards. It's boiling over a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he comes out in that 3rd period, and he channels it into the one thing that he does best. Win hockey games.
But, I mean, I'm the guy that lives in the past. I know. I'm older. It's fine. I'll be mad when Ovechkin passes Gretzky. I'll be mad. Still mad they took out the red line. We know that. And then now you got Joe that got beat by MacKinnon for the most points by an Avalanche player. So Joe's on my lap right here, and I'm just consoling him. He's my buddy. And again, as much as I said in the pregame, it's pretty amazing to be watching night in and night out, day in and day out, Nathan MacKinnon. It's a privilege. And I mean that as a hockey fan, to watch this guy every day. And you just said it, probably the single most. But I still have my buddy here, Joe, to comfort, on my lap, because he did get beat tonight by MacKinnon. And it just, deep down, I'm sad a little bit. That's it. That's it. But I'm happy for MacKinnon. But I'm sad for my buddy Joe. God.
You could see it
In my
build.
eyes, I'm crying.
Yeah.
You could see it build with MacKinnon at the end of the second when he danced through all the pens.
Yeah.
Nice little pass by Gerard.
Had that
And then-
look in his eye, man.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, he ain't score on that one. He ain't done.
But it's coming, yeah.
Yeah. And it was kind of, Crosby kind of goes away in this game a little bit,
Yep.
right? The domination is early and then fades. And with MacKinnon, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
It was nowhere to be found early, and then it built.
Yep.
And then it built, and it built. And then they score that goal so early in the third,
Yeah.
that you're like, there is no way that this Penguins team holds on to this, right? Like, if they don't score a 5th
Yeah.
goal,
The only way they win is if Crosby gets another one.
exactly, like there's no way they hang on and they hold off this Avalanche team, because it was like the depth guys, the depth guys put him there, gave him a shot.
Yep.
Then it was time for the Stars to do something. All right,
They did.
MacKinnon to Drouin gets him close,
Yep.
and then
MacKinnon himself
yeah,
with the clap bomb.
he gets
Yeah.
it done. Gets it. That's a tough job for Tristan Jarry.
Yeah, to come in cold like that sucks.
Yeah, to come in cold, and he hasn't faced a ton, and then he's got Nathan MacKinnon rocketing one-timers at him. That's a tough job.
For sure.
But I saw it firsthand on the bench with a guy like Joe, and that's why I got him right here next to me. Like, it was magnificent to watch. It was unreal to watch from the bench when I was watching Joe. You know what I mean? And I can only imagine right now, not only Bednar, but the rest of his teammates, like from us from the couch here is unreal. But can you imagine being on the bench night in and night out and watching that like unfold? It's pretty
crazy,
amazing. Because
yeah.
like I said, I saw with Joe, I thought it was a privilege to play with Joe. He's one of my favorite teammates of all time, players of all time. And now you're seeing MacKinnon that beats his record, you know what I mean? Like of the most points by an Avalanche. And I know Joe's probably excited, he's probably pumped, and he's not like that. He's not that type of guy. But what I'm saying is, I agree with Rudo. You're watching greatness unfold before your eyes right now.
Yep.
It's awesome.
It's
It's hard to appreciate
in the moment.
in
yeah.
all time. Like
That's right.
it's something that you can know. The same thing. It's
Absolutely.
not just the points, but it's also the way that
Everything.
he has a point in 34 straight home games.
Yep.
Out of 34 to start this. It's
wrong.
Astronomical.
you know that you are seeing something that you're probably never going to see again in your life.
It's amazing.
But it's hard in the moment. Like, you can know it, but to appreciate it, like it was just not that long ago that I remember the Avs couldn't have they couldn't get a guy that could score 30 goals for them.
Yep.
Like, Chris Stewart came awfully close once. They went like 8 years, 9 years, 10 years between 30 goal scores, and then they signed old ass Jerome McGinley, who almost does it on the last day of the season.
29 goals. Yeah.
Almost does it against the Blackhawks in that final game. Doesn't quite get there. Okay. And now you've got guys that are having Mikko Rantanen having a frustrating season.
He got 39.
Does it without
points.
blinking. And Nathan MacKinnon's got 44 right now, and you're like,
He could get to 50.
all right, so they've got 11 games left. This guy could have a 50-goal season. We could have back-to-back 50-goal seasons from the Avs from different guys.
It's crazy.
And I know that we've been talking a lot about like the points and a lot, not so much this specific game, but small thing that I want to give some appreciation to: Nathan MacKinnon beats Sidney Crosby on the overtime faceoff. The Avs never give up the puck.
Yeah, they do not.
You know, possession is one of those things in 3v3. It's way more important.
Yeah.
So we talk about neutral zone faceoffs don't matter, and then in 3v3, it's like extremely
Every faceoff
pivotal.
matters very, very much.
It's so important to have, and he wins that faceoff. It's a grinded out kind of faceoff,
But he
not
won it,
clean,
yeah.
but if they win it, he wins that faceoff. And I just think, look, we talk about all the little things in his game, and some things are good, some things are bad. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a moment that I wanted to give some extra love to.
Yeah.
I love it.
To what Eric was talking about, too, with MacKinnon, especially this year, I start to get the same feeling I got as a kid with Sakic and Forsberg on the team, where if your team is down a goal with 5 minutes to play, you're not worried. You look over on the bench, you're like, yeah, we got that guy. It's fine.
And especially this year. Last year, it was MacKinnon and Rantanen have to do it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it doesn't happen. And this year, you get Casey Middlestat has a thunderbolt of a moment.
Yep.
Where he almost does it. And then Casey Middlestat and Val Nichushkin on a 3-on-1 flub it. And you're
Really
like,
should have scored a goal.
you're like, damn. But Casey Middlestat is not Nathan MacKinnon.
Yep.
So there's other lines are getting out there and generating some chances. And then those guys come over the boards. Gadzooks, fam.
Yeah, it's
That is
wild.
good luck with that.
Womp, 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 womp.
And then number one, Eric Cedar and Jonathan Drouin.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. I mean, yeah.
I'm just, what a monster this guy was.
He was
tonight.
great, and I'm sure Walshy will be tweeting here soon today, but Alan Walsh's agent, and he bet on himself. Jonathan Drouin bet on himself this year. He had the opportunity to join a team like the Avalanche. Yeah, there was some familiarity with, obviously, Nate MacKinnon from their junior days, but this is a guy that bet on himself, took a league minimum deal, give and take, came here, knew that he was going to have an opportunity. Was not easy for him. The first 10 games, it was not easy. There was a little bit of stubbornness in his game, a little bit of things to, you don't want to say Bednar broke him, but, Bednar and the staff broke him in the sense that, hey, this is how we play here. This is our championship habits here. This is how we do it. This is how we're going to do it down the stretch. And the best thing that I like about Drouin right now is he's getting better and better down the stretch when games have bigger implications or more playoff hockey type deal. Like in Edmonton, they play great, in a playoff type game. He hasn't had a lot of playoff experience, if any, maybe in Tampa a little bit back then. That's before their heyday of their runs.
Cup run in Montreal.
Yes, true. I mean, but, again, that was all
He got hurt during.
Yeah, he played like half
and it
of
was like that weird season too, right? Whatever, the bubble thing. And
yeah, it was weird. For sure.
But what I'm trying to say is he's getting better and better, and then I do believe, again, it's two ways when you make deals like that at the deadline. You go get guys like me. You can actually feel the pressure and you fold, and you're like, oh shit, the competition's too tight right now. Or you go the other way and you actually play better. He's played better. He was playing great. And now, since the trade deadline, since the addition, since a little bit of guys behind him pushing the play, all of a sudden he's been even greater. Where maybe the last couple of years he would have folded. You know what I mean? Where, the internal competition and the pressure and not being able to deal with all that stuff. He's been awesome. Tonight, there's confidence with him. There's a trust factor now with Bednar. He uses him at, obviously, PP1, which is huge. You know what I mean? Like, for most part. 3-on-3, which we all know it's not hockey. We can have a debate about that. It's not hockey, but still, it's still part of the National Hockey League for the regular season. And who is he out there with? He's out there with MacKinnon, McCarr, guys like that. You got to be a good player to be able to play with guys like that. This guy's delivering big time. Who knows? We'll see what happens after the season, contract-wise and all that stuff. I make jokes about Walshy tweeting, but, it was a great job by Alan Walsh and Jonathan Drouin to come sign here in Colorado. And it was a good low-risk gamble by the Avalanche front office to go get a guy like that for pretty low money.
There are 3 quick points that I want to make. I promise there are no sub-points.
35 minutes later.
The first one is about Drouin had other offers.
Yep.
He had other offers with more security, multiple years. He came here to try to rebuild his career.
Yep.
He has done that. It was a slow burn. It took some time.
Now he has 12 points in his last 9 games.
And it's not his first stretch like that.
Yep.
But the other thing, the second one I want to touch on, the trust. Because you remember the first time Jonathan Drouin was on the ice in overtime this season?
He was trying so hard not to lose
He
that
looked
hockey game.
terrified when he got the puck and was like, no. And in this game, he starts
to the net.
He starts out on the ice with MacKinnon and McCarr, and then he wins it. But look how he wins it. He just goes right at Chris Letang.
Yep.
He's all right, man. Stop me. I'm having a game. You're old. I'm just gonna go around you. Do something.
He did. He chopped him on the hands, and he scored anyway.
Jonathan Drouin makes a power move.
Yeah.
Shut up, girl, please. And it's not just the overtime though. And this is the other part of it that I wanted to get into. That trust with the coaching staff extended to regulation.
Yep.
MacKinnon, Nichushkin, Rantanen. It wasn't working.
Yep.
Even in the third period, it wasn't working. When it started to work, what happened?
Drouin came up to the top line.
Drouin and Nichushkin switch spots. And what happens? Nichushkin creates some good chances next to Middlestat. Drouin scores.
Yep.
And plays a fantastic third period next to MacKinnon.
Ends up with a 3-point night, including the overtime winner.
It's so good. And I'm not going to get into the off-season stuff.
Oh.
It doesn't matter.
But you're right. It was a great decision by Alan Walsh, his agent, and him to come here was probably his best fit. And like you said, it's not always about the money or the years, that he was offered by a different team. They picked the best fit. After 10 games might not look like it, but I think in the long run, that's what they envision. And we make jokes about Alan Walsh and his tweets and all that stuff, but this was a great job by Alan Walsh and Jonathan Drouin and the Avalanche altogether.
And it's just not the way that you expect Jonathan Drouin to be successful in games, given his reputation. A one-timer and then a power move to the front of the net. This is exactly what the evolution of a hockey player looks like.
That's Halifax homie shit.
It is Halifax homie shit. Now, if only Halifax homie shit could turn into Halifax homie
We're one letter
shirts.
off. We're so close. Those are our 3 stars of the game. Absolute blast. If you want a new star in your home, I don't know. Can a floor be a star? A floor can be a star of a home. It can be a star of the space, whether it's carpet or hardwood. Empire Today has your back. Call 1-800-588-2300-EMPIRE or make your life easier. Go to EmpireToday.com. Am I? I don't think so. I know I'm a terrible singer, for the record. I cannot sing at all.
I agree because I mind it less.
1-800.
Well, look, go to EmpireToday.com/DNVR today. You'll get $350 off your floors. Empire Today, the reason I really like them, we used them when we got our new floors in our house, is because I hate having to go through 800,000 choices. I don't know floors well enough to be like, oh, there's 700 different carpets. Just give me the good one. And that's what Empire Today does. They weed out all of the low quality products and only carry the high quality ones. So you're guaranteed to get a good option from them, and you don't have to deal with all of the low tier options. Get with them again. Go to EmpireToday.com/DNVR to let them know we sent you and get $350 off. They have professional installers. They can even come out and give you an in-home estimate if that's what you would like. Check them out today. Get yourself some new, I'm going to say carpet, but, hardwoods too. They got you covered. And then head on over to American Financing, where they can help you save up to $10,000 a year. Their average customer saves $850 a month. That's $10,000 over the course of an entire year. That is a ridiculous amount of money. American Financing saves you all of this money by eliminating high-interest credit card debt. It's a great way to really save yourself a ton of money if you can get in with you. Their job is entirely to save you money. They can get you pre-approval letter in less than 24 hours. So they move quick. They make sure to get you what you need. Call American Financing today. All it takes is a 10-minute, no-obligation phone call to get you into the best investment you can make in Colorado. Call today at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000. Or go to AmericanFinancing.net/DNVR. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org. APR rates for the 5s start at 6.799% for well-qualified borrowers. Call 303-695-7000 for details about credit costs and terms. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. Anything you guys want to touch on this game before we get into the top 5?
Just really quickly, we don't have to make it a thing, but do any of us have strong feelings about Georgiev?
Not really. The fourth goal was bad, but whatever.
Okay.
Well, when you were coughing, Rudo and I said it during
which time?
No, like
You're gonna have to be more
during the
specific.
watch along. I said I'm gonna keep it zipped up until the summer. Like, it is what it is. This is what I mean. It is what it is. I mean, I'm not gonna keep repeating myself, and it's just need him to be okay.
Yeah.
And if he's okay, like Kemper in the playoffs, right? Kemper was good and okay, and and it was never really bad. He just, once you get to the postseason, you don't want bad game by your goaltender in the playoffs, because usually it's a tough one to win. You want them to, at least the way the Avs are built, just to be good. You'd like them to be great, but if they're good, I think the Avs are in decent shape if goaltending is good.
Just
for the record, part of this big run,
Georgiev has been really good.
It's been good.
Georgiev since February 1st, since they came back from the All-Star break, which includes that brutal
Stretch.
East Coast stretch. Georgiev is, I think, coming into today, he was a .915 goaltender.
Exactly.
Over the last 14 games.
Just be good.
That number will obviously go down a little bit today, but we always said
Doing just fine, yeah.
if he gets to 910, they'll be great. He got to 910, and they've won 9 in a row.
Funny how that works.
Not all him. Obviously,
course.
Jussi Sonnen has been fantastic backing him up, but Georgiev was the main source of ire for a lot of us for a lot of this season.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Definitely not a guy I'm going to harp on, given that every single skater was horrible in the first period. Come on. All right, before we do the top 5, we do have the blood of our enemies to drink here. So you guys got us to nearly 300 likes. We appreciate y'all hanging out, having a good time with us on a ridiculous Avs win. All right. We've talked a lot about Nathan MacKinnon's statistics, but how about a few more for the top 5? These are the top 5 point streaks in Avalanche history, not the home point streak. MacKinnon obviously has that one at 34.
Well, now the sole possessor of second longest in NHL history.
Yep, by himself.
Yep.
past Wayne Gretzky so he can go chase down Wayne Gretzky.
Exactly. I love the idea of passing Wayne Gretzky to go chase Wayne Gretzky.
Hopefully, we get a bobblehead of Wayne and we put him on the metal lap again, and Mac passes Wayne. It'd be awesome.
Yep. Number 5, Avalanche point streak. Oh, look, it's Nathan MacKinnon with 14 games. You're going to see his name on this list a couple of times.
Do we know when that 14 is?
I'm pulling that up right now, but do I still have it? I might still have it. I don't still have it. Hang on, I got to pull it up.
Still, when you were making this list,
Yep.
you said that of the top 10 point streaks in Avalanche history,
Yep.
Nathan MacKinnon has 6 of them.
Yep. 6 of the 10.
6 of the 10, and this is a franchise that had Peter Forsberg for his prime, Joe Sakic for his prime,
Yep.
Eric Lacroix for his
Thank you.
prime.
Appreciate that.
What's your longest point streak?
Probably 2.
I bet you had a 3 or 4 in there.
Maybe. Not much more than that.
How close did you come to a 4-goal game?
Hit the post in the second period for a 4-goal game, but hey, who's asking?
Me?
The 14 gamer came in 2018, February and March. So,
And that's when the Avs were still.
they were
Oh my God.
just learning how
Oh
to
my
be
God.
this team, yeah.
They might be good again someday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, this is funny. There's actually 2 times MacKinnon did it. He also did it this year
That's true.
from
It's true.
December 31st to February 5th.
So this year he has a 14, a 19, and an 18?
Correct.
Yeah.
Shut up.
That's sick. How many games does he not have a point? Not a lot.
It's not many.
I'm just saying.
Those
I mean,
3
erase
times they
all the
got
home
shut out
games.
early on.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
It's a handful. It's got to be a handful.
I'm guessing it's like 6 games this year that he doesn't
you're
have a
thinking
point
some
in.
2 hands? Okay.
I'm going to
maybe.
say 6 to 8, somewhere
We'd
there.
have to look at it.
Number
but-
4
yeah.
on the list.
Just Avs.
It's Alex Tanguay. 16
Thanks.
games.
Thanks. Good player.
Tanguay's came in 2002, 2003.
Wonder who he played with that year.
Milan and Joe.
The MVPs.
Oh, no. That's the year that actually he played with
The amp line,
Peter,
baby.
Yeah. Joe got hurt, right? Yeah.
Somehow Tanguay, the one with the longest point streak of that line.
Right.
though. Yeah.
I mean, it didn't end great here, but boy, that guy early in his career,
Great
he
player.
was something, man.
Yeah.
Great player. Guess whose stick he is this whole career? Mine.
This might be out of order now since he got a point tonight, but number 3. Tiff's doing a million things. Nathan MacKinnon, 18 games, currently active point streak. This one could continue to go even higher.
Wow.
P.S. The highest Avalanche point streak in history is 20 games. So, could break that record for the Avs, too.
I know who has that. It was his rookie year.
You would know that, yeah.
It was his rookie year.
It was. It's
I
true.
remember that.
Yeah, this is the currently active one. It started on February 13th. Obviously, it's still going today. Number 2.
Oh, I know number 1.
Oh, look, it's Nathan MacKinnon with 19 games
This list is hilarious, honestly.
from November 20th to December 27th of this season. I mean,
Pretty good.
Come on.
Pretty good, man.
Come on, dude.
That is funny.
The top 6 Avs scoring streaks, and 3 of them come from Nathan MacKinnon this year.
He's been pretty good.
So dumb.
It's so stupid.
dumb. And then the top one in Avalanche history at 20 games, Paul Stastny in his rookie year.
A phenomenal rookie year that gets overlooked because it came the same year as Sidney Crosby, I think.
Yep. The Crosby Ovechkin dual class.
Yeah, where it was like, oh, he had like a 76-point rookie season or something,
Yeah.
which when you look at it, you're like, that's a phenomenal rookie year.
Yep.
It's still one of the, I think, top 5 rookie seasons of the last 25 years or so.
Meanwhile, Crosby put up 100 points that year. as a
Exactly.
rookie.
And it It got totally forgotten about because his rookie class happened to be jacked. Like, remember last year's rookie class where it was like, oh, Matty Beniers is pretty good.
Even this year, I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway. Just some other fun facts on that 20.
Malkin? Okay, it was Malkin. All right.
Was it Malkin? Okay.
Oh, sure. On that 20-game point streak for Stastny, he had 29 points. MacKinnon on his 19-game point streak earlier this season had 36 points. On MacKinnon,
Fuck.
yeah.
Jesus.
On his current point streak of 18 games, he already has 36 points.
All right.
18 times 2 at 36.
We usually say don't do math live on air, but if you're going to be right about it.
He was wrong, but, you know.
I was right.
You said 19 times 2, which is 38.
18.
He said 18. He said 18.
Oh, he said, I thought he said 19.
No, 18.
Well, whatever.
I know the other
It
one's
doesn't
30.
matter.
Just saying, MacKinnon not just putting up point streaks, but putting up astronomical point numbers, multi-point level games in that. Those, I should say, more than one streaks. So, and look, theoretically possible, the Quebec Nordiques have a all-time leader of a 30-game point streak from Matt Sundin.
So he can't get there this year.
He could tie it this year. No, he'd be one short. He could get to 30.
He'd be at 29.
Sure.
Cold. Man, Matt Sundin. He was good.
He was an all right hockey player, as it turns out. So, yeah, just in case you didn't think Nathan MacKinnon was all that good. That was our top 5 from
It really is.
365.
It really is impressive to watch Nathan MacKinnon chase Avalanche history.
Yep.
You had the untouchable holy trinity of Sakic, Forsberg, and Waugh. Waugh is safe.
Yep.
Just in his position, whatever. That has become Cale Makar. Mikko Rantanen, I think, is still a step behind those guys, despite his own. He's on his way to being the second player in Avalanche history to have back-to-back 100-point seasons.
Yep.
Like, he's great.
Not down-talking the guy here.
Exactly. So, thank you. But Nathan MacKinnon is still ascending.
Yep.
Yeah.
He never had a 100-point season till last year. And this year, he's at 121 with 11 games left.
Yep. There was... Obviously, Joe Sakic did it as an older player in Colorado. But I did not even consider the possibility that Nathan MacKinnon could outproduce Joe Sakic on a point-per-game pace in a Colorado Avalanche sweater. Nathan MacKinnon has 881 points in 780 games, not including today. Joe Sakic had 1,015 in 870.
Just... MacKinnon has another exceptional year next year. He passes Joe Sakic.
If MacKinnon finishes this year strong and has a 120-point season next year, he will pass Joe Sakic and be on an as good or higher point-per-game pace as Joe Sakic for the Avalanche.
Crazy.
Oh, did they give him an overtime point? I wasn't sure. So
Who?
MacKinnon.
Yeah, did you get the secondary on that?
All right.
Yeah.
So he got 3.
I wasn't sure because I haven't looked at the box score of it, and I
He
just
does
watched
touch
the
it,
replay.
but
And
there's no possession by the Pittsburgh guy.
Yeah.
I just didn't know. Anyway, whatever. He got it.
So he's
at
1 point
122.
behind Kucherov now, right? With 3 tonight?
Is Kucha 123? I don't.
Sure.
He was 123 before the game, yeah.
Then, he'll be 1 point behind.
You can tell we're doing 15 other things as we lead up
There's
to
about
this, other than
800
just
things
looking
going
at,
on, yeah.
looking at just here are the stats.
Anyway.
Especially with the NHL, where it's like those box scores have changed so many times on me this season
They're so bad this year.
that I've been burned by putting stats into things that NHL.com and I are fighting. I have trust issues.
Nathan MacKinnon has 78 assists this year.
Yeah, which should be pretty close to an Avalanche record. He's got to be chasing a Forsberg record there,
I can find out. Give me a sec.
which is pretty good.
For a season.
Do we have a Forsberg bobblehead? Or what do we got? Blakey, Patty, Ray.
I don't think we have a
You would
Forsberg
need
one
8 more to catch Forsberg.
in 11 games.
Forsberg had 86.
There's 3 more games on this homestand. I'm just saying.
86 what now?
Assists in a season.
I mean, assists, yeah.
God damn, that's a lot of assists.
Yep.
Yeah.
What year, dude?
As have had some good hockey players. 95, 96.
No, it wasn't there.
It would be crazy if he breaks, because that's their first year. Sakic had their point record.
Yep.
Forsberg sets their assist record, and MacKinnon might break them both
Breaks
in the
them
same year.
Both in one go. Just F
I mean, you might as well score 56 goals, too.
it. Get that record, too.
Yeah,
Why
break
not,
Nico's
bro?
shit. Like, just take them all,
Have
man.
the 150-point season. Just put it up there and say, no one's touching this shit.
Exactly.
Ever. Yeah.
Just all of them. Nathan MacKinnon, and then go and win. Go and win a Conn Smythe, so you can just
have one of them, too.
call it good. Call it good.
On that note, make sure you go get yourself some Illegal Pete's. Delicious burritos. We had some catered here at the bar the other day. Mwah. Delicious stuff. You cannot go wrong with it. Absolutely fantastic food from Illegal Pete's. Also a great place to pregame if you're coming down to the DNVR bar, whether that be March Madness, an Avs game, the Nuggets, you name it. There's one just a couple of blocks from the bar that you can get in on, get your burrito. They also have happy hour from 3 to 8 p.m. So go get yourself some Illegal Pete's today. Excuse me. Got the hiccups. Also, if you want to watch your Avalanche, Fubo TV is the way to do it to get all of your local Avalanche games. They got the Altitude channel on them, so you can watch the Avs and Nuggets there. You can use the QR code on screen or go to FuboTV.com/DNVR to get 15% off your first month of Fubo Pro. Comes with 1,000 hours of DVR. They have over 140 channels, movies, television, news, music, you name it. Fubo has you covered. And maybe I don't know. I don't know if this will happen soon, but someday you might be able to watch us on there. Could happen. Someday.
That'd be cool.
Be all right.
Look, aspirational.
Yeah, exactly. Go get yourself some Fubo TV today. Again, FuboTV.com/DNVR to get 15% off your first month of Fubo Pro. All right. Super chat time. I need to do our 300 likes winner shot to get through all of these super chats because there's a lot of you tonight. Cheers. Cheers. Let's go. Woo!
The cough drop's talking right now.
$5 from Saki Sam, who says, what a freaking game. Are Avs destined for a rematch with the Cats? Stanley Cup's a long way away, man, but it's
Sure,
hard
man.
not to really like this team right now.
After 71 games, sure. Sounds good.
Feeling good about it. Put it that way. $5 from Joe, who says, the boys love being choked again.
This is a great callback.
I
The Cup Run team, we used to joke that they love to be choked because they would
go down a goal.
go down a goal and then they would care a lot more and they would start playing like they would play great after that and then they would win the game. So
It is a fact.
just choke them just a little bit. Today was like
I was going to say something really erroneous.
Is this guy got choked? Maybe he got choked.
I don't know, man.
Today was a Trevor Bauer situation.
Oh, come on, dude. Come on, man. No, it's not.
P.S. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
$2 from Kyle McRae. If this is a 48-point season, karma, I'm here for it.
They had that. They won a Stanley
they won
Cup.
a cup. I think that's
They won a Stanley
that came
Cup.
and went for sure.
And their Conn Smythe winner was the pick they got from that season. That karma cashed.
By losing.
That karma cashed, fam.
By losing the
It's not an unlimited lottery ticket.
lottery.
I don't know. Kale McCarr kind of feels that
He
way.
does feel a little bit like it. Yeah, come on.
Flyers fans are like, God,
He's got
come
80
on.
points. What does he got? 79 points? Jesus.
Yeah, he's in like a year where everyone feels like he's been pretty good.
Yeah.
He's going to end up with 90 points. That's funny.
$5 from Clay, who says, wow is the word, I believe. Love watching this team post-deadline. Think there's any chance they'll try to keep Drouin. All love for you guys. Will they try? I'm sure they will try. Will they be able to even come close to affording it? Probably not.
Who knows?
Very briefly, I'll just touch on this. We can do this more on an off-day pod
Yeah.
at some point, but because I'm leaving soon, I won't have a chance while everybody's really excited. No. Like, they'll ask, but no. He's reasonably, he will have priced himself out of Colorado. This is how it goes.
Yep.
This is how it goes for the Avs. This is Andre Burakovsky left. Evan Rodriguez takes that spot. He has left. Jonathan Drouin is here. He will leave, and they will go into free agency, and they will find another guy that is having a depressed market, that is coming off a tough season, whose game they can rebuild, and he can go and get paid somewhere else. This is how they have to exist now. If Landeskog does not come back and they have his $7 million to play with,
different conversation.
it is a different conversation. I would bet most of that money goes to Sean Walker, though. The reality here is that as the top six wing in their top six,
he's expendable.
He is just not a priority to bring back.
If he wants to come back for $2.5 million.
Yeah, I mean, if they were to find the money and they move it around and they do whatever, like if they get creative, sure, they could find it, and
We'll see.
It would take a definitive answer on Landeskog, though.
Of course.
Otherwise, I just don't see it.
We'll see.
And
We'll see.
It's wings. No,
Yeah.
wings are they're too easy to find.
Yep.
You don't lock it down, and the people who are like, oh, his friendship with Nate and what the Avs have done for him, you're being extremely naive here.
Yep.
He's not going to leave. It's one thing to leave like a couple $1 million maybe on the table.
When you're leaving, it's going to be like 10 to 20 million.
Right. He's not. He is somebody like if Chicago offering him a 5x5 and dropping him next to Connor Bedard. I'm sorry, but it just makes sense.
Yep.
That's exactly what they should be doing.
Yep.
Is something like that, or even give him $7 million over 3 years instead. The Avalanche just cannot play in those kinds of waters. So realistically, the answer would be no. Just enjoy what is at the moment and don't worry about how to keep him. But these are the exact same conversations that we had the last couple of years with Burakovsky and Rodriguez.
Yep.
When a guy has a great game and you're hype on him, you always want to try and find a way to keep him. But as has been proven, you can find those guys every year. You just have to be smart.
Yep. We'll see.
Also, smaller chance Nikolai Kovalenko might be that guy.
You never know. Next, 27
Unlikely,
from Craig.
No.
The Avs don't need to have great scouts if they can take everyone else's top 10 draft picks and turn them around. Let's go, Drew. Yeah, but who scouts those guys?
Yeah. No offense, I'm not trusting the amateur guys. I'll trust their pro guys.
Yeah, no, the pro guys scout the failed top 10 picks from elsewhere. The amateur guys, they do all right in the top 10, to be honest, but...
In the top 10.
Yeah.
20. Richie looks dope.
He does. $20 from Jim. Bet the Avs pregame live. Bet the Avs down 2-0, 3-0, and 4-1. You made some money tonight, Jim. And MacKinnon, anytime goal. This team is playoff ready. No opponent can feel comfortable with a lead against us. Huge mental advantage to have. Happy Sunday, gents.
Agree.
Yep. Teams be scared. Teams be scared out here. $5 from Nate, who says, one hell of a second half. Eric called game. Go Avs, and you guys rock.
You knew when they scored with 25 seconds. It's just that team. You just can't give that to that team.
I knew the Avs could get to 4 goals. I really thought they were going to give up a 5th. I really did.
Again, they gave up one scoring chance.
So once the third period started, I was like,
they're in it.
oh, yep. I was like, this is, nah. All right.
$5 from James, who says, Big E on a back-to-back prediction streak. He's hot right now. He's hot. Go bet with Big E.
Tuesday, I'll get myself ready for Tuesday.
Got to do some meditation or something?
It'll be very similar to last game's prediction. Just a heads up.
$5 from WB, who says, best part of watching this game is thinking about the Avs' upside when they tighten down the defense and simplify. They will wear teams down.
They're on a 9-game winning streak. They've done that.
Yep.
Like, they've tightened it up. Like, remember the game in Vancouver? I know it was, again, another, like, not great start, but the Avs completely dominate the final 45 minutes of that game.
Yep.
The game in Edmonton, like, defensively, they have already tightened the screws a lot.
Yep.
This was a really bad start and a phenomenal finish.
Just to back up your point, since this winning streak started, shutout. 2 goals against, 1 goal against, 2 goals against, 3 goals against,
Shut up.
2 goals against, 3 goals against. 1 goal against, and then tonight.
So it's the first time they've given up more than 3
Yep.
in the 9 games. In a 9-game winning streak, it's happened.
And in 6 of the games, they've given up less than 3. That's pretty good.
You're right. Like, the upside is, what does this look like when they're defensively better? But you should also feel great that in game
They're effective. Yeah.
they were getting rocked, and then they weren't, and then they
Locked it down. Solved it.
oh jeez, fun game, man.
Fun
It's just
game.
a fun
Fun
game.
game.
I'm excited to go home and rewatch this one.
And then $5. I think that's the one we just read.
Yep. Nope.
$5 on Jim. $5 for AJ's smile while thinking about the 2018 days of us being good someday. What a journey being a lifelong Avs fan.
Yeah, I'll always have a really soft spot for, especially that 17-18 team.
The no-pressure team.
The
Yeah.
year after the 48-point season where they snuck into the wild card, the Game 82 win over St. Louis. My favorite locker room I've ever been in, personally, just after that game, how happy everybody was and all the hugging. And,
Yep.
you know, obviously I was not in the locker room when they won the Stanley Cup because Rudo and I were here crying and hugging. And so we were a little occupied, but I'll always have a really soft spot for that era of Avalanche, the build.
Yep, it was awesome. Okay, we've gone like 1 million hours over time, but that's what happens with matinee games, I guess.
Nobody behind us, a crazy fun game, a lot to talk
it was
about.
a good one. It was a good one.
There's way more to talk about in a game like that versus a 6-1 drubbing of Columbus.
Yep.
Well, even like after the first, we were like, man, there's like nothing
Oh, yeah.
to talk about.
Halfway through the second period, I was gearing up for a rough post-game pod.
I was
man.
going to go home because I was like, I'm not going to...
It's not worth it.
Yeah, I'm not going to spend the voice on this. Like, I'm not going to sit there and cough all night because of that. But
Then the Avs popped off.
yeah,
so.
it went great.
That's all we got
fun.
for tonight. Maybe tomorrow might be Tuesday. I'm not sure which day, but we do have a pretty cool off-day show coming for you guys. So be ready for that. Timing on tomorrow's show might be a little weird. It might be our normal 2 p.m. I'm not sure. We're working out a couple of things. You're going to want to watch the show, though.
Keep an eye on socials.
Yeah,
keep an eye.
exactly.
We're
Follow
working
our
on
Twitter.
scheduling with somebody.
DNVR Avalanche might be a pretty cool show. You're probably going to want to watch it. We also have a bunch of other awesome content on the DNVR.com. Go check us out. A bunch of diehard content is coming over the next week, so be ready for that. Consider becoming a diehard. We're done. We appreciate y'all. We'll see you tomorrow.
We all silly like the mayor.